What's going on, everybody? Steve Araujo with the Bass Hang, and this is the second episode of Hang Time with my good friend.
That's what we're doing, right?
That's what we're doing, hanging. Carey Nordstrand, the one and only. Dude, thank you for making time.
Oh, this is cool, man.
And chatting with us.
I always see you coming out here and setting up here in my little lair of craziness. So, yeah.
No, it's awesome, man. I love coming up here and chatting with you, and you inspire, and me, and I'm sure
Thanks.
millions of others out there. So,
Well, if things are going right, hopefully, yeah.
yes, yeah. So, how you been? Everything good?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been making a lot of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually an album sequence that we're working on right
Cool.
now.
We can play a little in a bit.
We could dig into that if
Yeah.
you want. I mean, we could talk about the basses I've been using. And I mean, this one's in the scene here a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a Cat 5 and a Polyvox pickup in it.
And that's one of
That's the one that I made.
made here.
Mhm.
Okay. Got it.
And I accidentally dinged it, so I can't sell it now.
It's got character. So you're forced to keep.
Right.
own-
I need to have a shop demo
Yeah.
bass around anyway, but it's got a couple of little marks on it because I'd been using the snot out of it.
You're supposed to.
And it asks me to do all kinds of things
Mhm.
creatively, musically. Yeah. And again, I can show you some of that.
Yeah.
If you're interested in what I do with this thing, with all this stuff, this will come out soon, and I've got a bunch of my own music that's going to be out streamable.
Is it under like a link, or is it under?
Well, the band's called the Pre-Ecstatic Joy Disorder, and I've been co-producing and working with my partner in that project. Who, when we started, I was just helping him record bass and mixing and doing things. It was more of a hired gun situation. He's local here. He comes out of the Long Beach music scene. And so it just kind of evolved into like, well, I guess we're a band now.
Yeah.
Because I started showing him ideas that I had, and he went, "Oh, what about this?" And I was like, that makes it better. Let's go. And then it just morphed, and now we're to here. So there's a bunch of music in that space. There's earlier stuff that we did together is more his. Later stuff is more both of us. And I think you'll probably hear it if you listen to it all. But anyway, there's a record coming of that, and then I have my own personal music that I've started making, largely because of the way this thing inspires me. The range of sounds it has, especially when you pop a mute on it, the tone knob goes extra dark, and so you can get these muted, focused, pulsy, like textural qualities, and you can get these big open pick, wide, broad, aggressive sound, and then you're running into a fuzz pedal, and it's like, hold up a second.
And it still carries the characteristic of the note.
Well, the way the Polyvox separates out the string outputs or inputs, I guess, from each string into the pickup, and then it keeps focus and clarity that you kind of don't get till you try it.
Interesting.
So now this bass, and then over there I have my Polybase,
Okay.
which is a bass I built for myself for using in this band. But I didn't want to use a 5-string. But this thing, I've now decided that I have to keep this around as a shop demo bass, right?
Yeah.
But it's become so essential to what I do in here, and it just kind of enables. So most short scale B strings, you're like, oh, it's cool, I have that if I need it, but like a D or something, right? This one, the B is like, you got to try more than that. You got to get in the game on the B. This thing invites you to just do whatever you want with the B string. It says, hey, try this, try that. And yeah, it's kind of a.
Yeah, the last time I played it, I was tripping out because usually if you go up of over like an F, it starts kind of woolly kind of thing. But even like this A right here was almost as clear as the A.
So what you get is you get notes, clarity, and focus, but you also get the quality of, this is a shorter, like the string is going to speak differently. It has the same note here and then the same note here, right? And so you can pick the vibe you want and how you're going to play where you want to play. I mean, that's what all great bassists do, right? But on this one, the B string is just, it's an invitation to play. like,
and somehow
it's hard to resist it.
and it somehow doesn't fart out either.
It doesn't.
It's
You can't. You can dig into this bass. You can the dynamic, the way that the polybox works. It just doesn't have a ceiling. I think it just naturally compresses in such a natural way that nothing's breaking up anywhere ever. It's I mean, unless you want to run into a pedal and make a pedal sweat.
sure.
But yeah,
So so people that don't know, you wind pickups and make pickups for, gosh, basses, guitars.
well, I don't. There's a bunch of fine folks next door that do and have been doing so since, gosh, 2005.
Yeah.
20 years.
Got
We've been making pickups. We started making pickups for Ibanez, I think '06.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been a little, but somewhere in there. And I mean that relationship has made all of us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the Polybox is the newest pickup that you've kind of designed.
It's the most recent thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really smart guy working for me here for a while, and he helped me design this. And Antonio. And so we just worked through iterations, and there were some problems here and there that we had to solve. One of the main ones, when you make a single coil like that, is output. And you get the output sufficient to drive, in a conventional passive, controls 250K pots and a 0.1 cap here for the extra dark thing. And so we had some solutions to come up with, and we did, and it took about, I don't know, it was a couple years probably from me going, hey, we should do this, and iterations and time and working and all that. And so, yeah, this was, I think we finished developing it maybe a couple years ago now.
Okay.
And there's a set in the NJ5 right there.
I'll pull it down just so we can see it.
Yeah.
And these are humbuckers, correct? Or dual coils? Dual coil.
Well, no, right? They're not. They're multi-coil.
Multi-coil. Okay.
That's why it's called a polybody.
Got it.
Multiple voice. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a little Humkansen coil over here.
Okay.
So each string has its own coil and its own magnetic assembly and its own inductive engine, all the things that make the signal. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the nature of this pickup. I think of it as a passive wall pickup, basically.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. So they play great with the preamp. I mean, I use my Starlifter all the time with this thing.
Yeah.
With these pickups and these basses. And
this is your
this one has our 3-band preamp in it. But again, I mean, I'd love to sell you a ton of onboard preamps and say you should all have preamp in your basses. But personally, the simpler the instrument is, the more music I make. The less choices I have, and the less sound good now the more sound good now I have. Pick and go. Then it comes down to what your hands are doing.
Yeah.
Tonus comes down to what your ears want to hear, and how quickly can you find it, and how quickly can you keep making, creating.
And then this is one of your early creations.
That one's 20 years old.
Yeah, I love this babe.
Yeah,
This thing is awesome. So, are you making any instruments now? Kind of whenever you feel like it.
well, so that's kind of where we started, right? We were talking about this, and I was going to talk about that. So I made 5 of these here in the shop, and I made myself one Polybase, and about, let's see, it was 23. In 2023, I was doing 20th anniversary, a small batch 20th anniversary basses. Well, I still have the one that I was making for myself over there, unfinished in sort of a raw wood rough sand. We can go grab it and look at it because it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But the other 3 I finished and sold actually in 2024. Well, I sold them anyway. That's how these things go. And once I got those done, I made these, and then it was just like, okay, we found this factory in Temecula that we're using to do batch builds. So they're going to be made in the U.S. And this is going to be 10 of these in the first batch-ish. And if there's not 10 for sale when we launch it, don't get mad at me, because we may have adjusted things, and we may have artists that come around. And then the Polybase is going to be after that, and those we're going to have 10 of those as well. Let me grab. Yeah, I'm talking about it a lot.
No, I was going to grab it too. Yeah.
I didn't know what you're looking at. Be like, hey.
So there's that one. Got it. So this is the Polybase.
Polybase because that's Polyvox pickups.
Yeah, yeah.
And the concept of this bass was take a V1 cat
Mm-hmm.
with the two big single coils, and make it 34 inches, but use the Polyvox pickups and see what series sounds like.
Yeah. And you've got the all in, you've got all the EQ curves, right?
No,
Or not
that's
curves,
just pickup selection.
pickup selection.
This is the same pickup selection as the cat bass. So
Got it.
that's neck and bridge.
Okay.
That's neck.
Uh-huh.
That's bridge. That's off.
Series.
And then that's series.
All in. Okay. Got
And it really does get that easy to push them all in once you get used to it.
Yeah.
The first,
Oh no,
the
yeah.
first, it takes a while.
No.
But once you get used to it and you get it, yeah.
Wait.
See, he's new to this.
And I even have
What-
one of these at
what-
home. Okay.
So let's say you're in neck pickup. and
Yep.
you want, just push two in the middle, like, so the angle's weird.
Angle.
Right?
There we go.
If you push them a little bit sideways.
Okay. Okay. Let me see.
All right, this is turning into a farce. We got to stop doing this.
We'll say, there we go. Look at that. I did it. You know.
Okay, so then you've got a volume,
Uh-huh.
and again, a wide, super wide range 200.1 cap.
Got it.
And when you put them in series, the Polyvox,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's
brutal. And if you turn it all the way down
mm-hmm.
and you put a mute on it, it's like, it's punching way down here.
And this is a 34-inch scale?
It's a 30 floor layout. It has Dunlop flats on it.
Okay.
A detuner on it because unfortunately I wrote songs in that need lower than it.
Yeah.
And that's why I decided to make this. Now I have, this is not going to go anywhere, so I will use this for the 5-string.
Sure,
stuff.
sure.
So the whole point of making a 4-string bass has been ruined by this one.
But this is great, man. Feels nice. I like the body shape too.
It's,
know?
so this body shape is if you take a P bass
Mhm.
and a J bass and you throw them on a screen and you kind of average them a little bit,
Yeah.
you can find this shape.
Interesting.
And one of the cool things about this that wasn't planned in the initial concept is the edge treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I finished making the body and I made the neck and I had just your standard, Fender, fat round over on
Mhm.
here. And it just looked a little blobby and thick. And then I had this, bevel bit,
Yeah.
this big bevel bit.
Yeah.
And, I thought, what if I ran that around there and kind of shaved off that circle a bit, that radius? And I did it, and I was like, whoa, that is too cool.
Yeah.
And then, so if you look at the back of it, you can see the way that this tummy cut, I did this cut by hand. All this edge treatment was done by hand on this one. Not CNC.
Okay.
But I wanted a tummy cut on there, and so I did this cool sort of polygonal blend here and here. So there's like a facet right here,
Mhm.
like a seam between this edge and this cut. And it just adds this little detail that I just delight.
And it feels good too.
Same thing on the front here. There's almost a seam right here where it transitions into this extra here.
It's super comfy.
And
Like,
it just has like a feminine delicacy to it
Yeah.
that invites you to just
that's
embrace it. And then it has lacquer finish on it. And I didn't do tinting on this one.
cool. Okay.
Because I wanted it to age
Mhm.
color on its own.
Yeah,
And then I just,
cool.
normally I do a recessed cavity cover,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, I want it done.
Yeah.
And it's going to be mine. I don't care. So I
Yeah.
just made a wood maple cover and
Mm-hmm.
sort of slapped it out quick. And everybody loves this. And I'm like, it's not really correct. But people really like
They're like, no, man,
I
like
think this
that. Yeah.
raw wood cover on the
It's
person.
very
So,
cool.
Anyway, it just,
It has a vintagey
that's
vibe.
I mean,
to
look,
it,
I'm all about patina.
Yeah.
I'm about, if you buy an instrument from me and you take it away, and you come back 10 years later and it looks new, I'm going to be kind of sad.
Don't break his heart. Play your Nordies.
If you love it and use it, it's going
Yeah.
to show that.
Yeah. That's cool.
So that's,
So be on the lookout. These next few months.
gosh, I hope so.
Who knows?
Things are so
Yeah.
bonkers right now.
No, we need a date. No.
Well, these are going to go first.
Okay.
Um,
Those are great.
and,
That thing's awesome.
and Yeah, I think it's best when people actually play and experience it.
Mhm.
It just and you'll hear what I can do, what it can do in the music
Yeah.
that's coming because um it's really taken a big role in
Mhm.
what I'm doing. Personally, I might like my personal music. I have some sort of minimal sort of vocal content, but
Mm.
sort of groove, organic groove,
Mhm.
sort of. There's some spoken word, like poetry stuff on music too that's coming along.
Yeah.
But this thing has really filled a big role in that particular
That's cool.
place for me musically, creatively. So
Well,
yeah.
your instruments are very sought after, so I'm sure it'll
Yeah, hopefully they go
yeah.
and hopefully once people kind of go, oh, what, wow,
Mm.
there's dimensionality available here that well, look, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So,
And then also on the Polybox,
hmm
cover-wise, let's say they can't get one of these, do you have different cover sizes for, let's say, like, whatever, like a standard humbucker?
we have them in these P sizes,
Okay.
and we have some Barlini
Yeah.
derivative sizes, and then EMG sizes, I believe.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
They really aren't amenable to squeezing into anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, some people have done them with non-exposed poles, but these kind of like to be pretty close to the strings.
Yeah.
They sound best when they're
And they're raised a little bit too, the pole pieces.
oh, on this one they are.
Oh, okay.
This is an early set.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I mean, they do stick up a little bit.
Mhm.
On this one, you can see we had to radius it a little bit.
Yeah.
So the outside pieces are lower, and then these are higher, and then these are the highest,
Got
and low, and then lower.
Sure. So yeah.
So yeah, because I mean, this has kind of a vintage inspired radius on it,
Mhm.
so the strings kind of go over pretty steeply. And I was finding the B string would be twice as loud as the rest of the string,
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
which might sound like a superpower, but it is hard to play evenly when it's that
For sure.
balanced.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got it a bit more lined up, and the B string still has an authority
Okay.
that is like a little bit unruly, but
Unruly in a good way.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like that what you're doing now with your music is it's almost like inspiring you.
Oh, it's always
You
been
know,
that way.
yeah.
Everything that I've done musically since the beginning of my, I mean, look at this one. This is part of the
The whole story of everything.
Yeah.
because this is the first P-shaped instrument.
Here, I'm gonna hang this one up.
So this is the first P-shaped instrument that these are so good. These were great. I went, oh, this feels like home. And it has a B width, nut, so it's between a P and a J, 1 5/8.
Yeah.
Actually, this one's a little bit narrower for whatever reason. When they made it, it ended up narrower, and so that's how I like to make my own nuts now. I like
Mm-hmm.
my own necks. So that the Polyvox has a width based on this. 'Cause
I like
as soon as I started playing this, and I put a mute on it, and this has the original Power Blade
Mm-hmm.
P type blade pickup
Mhm.
prototype that we made, which is one of a kind.
It's great. I've played 'em.
And it's actually a J blade cut in half and then a P pickup made out of that. Now we ended up designing a specific blade for this. So the subtle differences between this and
Okay.
combined. But this particular combination just kind of sent me in a different direction. I'm a J guy before that.
Yeah.
Considered myself a J bass sort of. That was where,
Yeah.
all the cool guys were.
And then you find the radness of
But the P basses got to be super cool, and I was like, I'm gonna follow everybody else. But everybody has their own adventure through what you find tonally appealing, and I think that's part of the joy of being a musician and a bass player, is to explore and discover all these different parts and build yourself up as a musician and a player with your depth as you go.
Yeah.
And so when I got into the P thing, it made my playing more interested in actual bass parts that are like, repetitive, really focused on groove, and focused on, tone and feel and just, what a bass in a traditional pop music context typically does. Almost in a synthy direction with the super big dark vibes that I've been getting on some of these things.
I love the simplicity of a P.
That's
It's
listen. So that's part of
Right.
the ethos that ended up in this. You only get a volume and a tone.
make it
You
sound.
gotta, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also part of what the cat bass inspired that too, with the switches. The more you sit there and dork around with your sound and worry about how you sound, the less you're making music.
Yeah.
I feel like if I can make an instrument where you forget that you got to worry about your sound or a pickup. I usually find myself tweaking on my sound, but I'm not right now. I'm just making, the instrument goes away
Yeah.
and you just create or play or groove or get into it. I mean, that's what music is about. It's about being here
Yeah.
and not worrying about things. It's not supposed to be about worrying and achieving. It's about experience. It's about the moment,
Did your road to the P bass become stronger the more recording you did?
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
There's a weird sonic space that it fits.
It's not weird. It's like definitive.
It's what it is. Yeah.
It's part of the structure of American music.
It is.
The foundational structure,
Yeah.
because it was there from the beginning of recorded music.
Yeah.
Really, right? Pop music. So yeah, it's integral to everything. And once you start internalizing how it works and what it does and how it functions musically, and you start kind of getting that, the P bass just makes so much sense. And you're like, there's everybody says, oh, it felt like going home. You play a P, it's like going home. I mean, it kind of is in a structural sense in terms of our musical history. So the fact that you start understanding a P bass, I think it just adds a whole other dimension.
Yeah.
A lot of players in their younger years, they want to achieve and be great and and be impressive. And the P bass is kind of the anti that. And music that is asking for a lack of ego, it's kind of going to go better with a P bass and a lack of ego and a supportive. The whole point of a P bass is to support the music and help ground it and create movement or whatever the composer or creator's intent is, whatever they felt. It's about getting the feelings into the music. And so anyway.
No, but I think it's, yeah.
I mean, this really informs what I do, what all of this is. The function of a space like this is really an isolating creative. Things don't really get to me here. I mean, things manifest here from the outside world that I bring in here.
Yeah.
But it also has the ability of really holding space so I can tune everything out and just play and discover what gets me excited.
Yeah.
And that's we're kind of telling the story of how I got to here by sort of figuring that that's kind of the game.
Yeah.
For me.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Let me see. So this was the Ibanez. Is it a Roadstar?
It's a Blazer.
The Blazer. That's right.
Blazer.
The Blazer bass.
I think you can determine a year. 81. Made in Japan.
Yeah.
And this is Sen. It's a Japanese ash, which has a really interesting
Total quality.
Well, no, structural. It's light.
Yeah, it is.
The grain rings are tight.
Okay.
Now that combination doesn't apply in our northern ash, our ash that we have here. If you get tight grain, it can be associated with weight. Loose grain is associated with light.
With a lighter.
Oh yeah. Now this kind of goes against the grain. Sorry. And it looks like it should be heavy, but it's not. And
No.
I think it's kind of special for that reason. I have a strap here too.
Oh yeah.
That's sort of my Japanese Ibanez.
Oh,
hair.
This thing,
Isn't that cool?
so light.
Right? It's way lighter than you think.
It looks heavy, but it's so super light.
This is a killer rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, so good. I put my single coils in there, 83.
Yeah.
And then just I put a switchable extra dark cap in there too, just to be a dork, because I'm doing the pieces. And it's a hardtail.
Yeah.
And I mean, for
It just resonates.
it's just plinky.
Yeah. That thing's badass, man. Yeah. These.
Now Rogers would love this. I'm just saying.
Yeah. These early 80s, mid 80s Japanese Ibanezes are. Yeah.
I mean, that's what these are. And,
Yeah.
you know, to be a part of Ivan's story,
Oh yeah. That's
I mean, and I,
yeah.
yeah. And you know what? They're really kind of killing it again. And they're kind of moving in the fender shaped object direction in a lot of ways, like the Josh Smith telly that shape thing
Okay.
they're doing. And I mean, I've been telling them for years, you guys should get back to because if you find an old musician bass,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
electronics package on that was
Yeah.
so far ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a volume, blend, tone,
Okay.
and then it had a passive active switch and a preamp in it. And it was inductor based. You had a switchable active passive switch on a bass that was made in the 70s.
Wow.
80s.
Wow.
They were so ahead of it.
Yeah. They make great.
I mean, it was probably being done elsewhere. I mean, I'm
Sure.
you know, if enough people see this, they're going to come at me and go, and they weren't the first. Fine. But who else was doing it at that scale at that time?
Yeah. And longevity. I mean, they're still around and still killing.
Oh, they're
I
great.
mean,
They're
yeah.
great. I mean, the craftsmanship, the workmanship on these Japanese instruments, especially, is it's up there.
It's great stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing is insanely light.
It's cool, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I got to be on the hunt for some.
I mean, all the instruments in here have like a particular sort of use and vibe, and you know, they're here for what they do as a tool,
Yeah.
as a creative source. So.
I'll fly in some footage of I'll do a little panoramic so that people can see. So any new stuff other than, let's say, the basses and, for Nordstrand audio, because you have the Star Lifter, you got the preamps, the pickups,
So
any vision.
we're in such an odd time, in sort of the arc of my company. I'm sure a lot of others too. Culturally, societally, look, if you get into my music, you figure out where I'm at on all this stuff. But it's resulted in some structural issues that we've had to address in terms of productivity. We got way behind. We had to get our pricing structuring sorted out. We had to really do some course correction over the last, year or two. And I mean, there isn't a path right now. Where do we go from here? I don't know. Let's try making basses in California, US all the way. And, we've always made our pickups here. We've never embraced overseas factories, and that would have a massive impact on what we do if we had right now, if tariffs were, being thrown around. And we are having impacts from tariffs. We get bills for stuff, for supplies that we've been buying overseas from the same place for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So, it's a challenge. And so right now it's been, the last 6 months have just been about, to be frank, getting our shits
Yeah. Yeah.
in the production space. So it doesn't make sense for me to be out there flogging new things and making new stuff and creating new things, if the fundamentals aren't super sound. And we've been working on that, and we feel like we're making progress, and hopefully we see it. You see it out there in the world where the rubber hits the road. So yeah, I hope this is,
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
These and the Polyvox pickups, the Polyvox pickups is really the flag. I mean, they take so much time to make. They're priced appropriately for the amount of energy that if you open up the cover, take the cover off and you look at it, the craftsmanship that goes into these things is pretty goofy. I've got guys here that have worked for me for, 15. We started production like for real in like 2006, 2007. So there are people here that have been around for 10, 15 years, and they really put themselves into the products that we make.
Yeah.
Especially when they're shielding and wiring lengths and all these little details. And I mean, these guys are amazing. So we kind of had to lean into the higher end side of things. We've always tried to keep our pricing accessible for people. And we feel like it's, it fits into the market pretty well. But again, depending on what happens over the next 6 months, a year, kind of, it's like, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think that's something across the.
I think everybody's everybody. I know a lot of people are way more alarmed than I am probably, but we have a pretty solid, stable foundation here, and we still have a lot of business. I don't feel like we're going to go away in any capacity. I feel like my role here, which is a little, I'm in here,
Yeah.
and it bears fruits, but I'm kind of, as long as this machine keeps moving and we can keep doing this, the amount of time I spend involved directly is less and less. I have a lot of other things that I'm getting into, and you can find that
Yeah.
on my website,
Yeah.
unconditionallycurious.com, and I have a YouTube page that we started, and it's all about my sort of backyard gardening and farming and sort of save the planet, resistance gardening, and I get into cannabis and how that impacts my life and has impacted all of everything here. My recovery from cancer. So it's called Unconditionally Curious, and it's
Cool.
invitation to be meditative and play.
That's
basically. And so it's just kind of follow me along as I try to figure out what the hell to do with my life.
No, it's beautiful.
and how to be creative and do things. We just shot an episode yesterday. I'm fixing up an old teardrop trailer in the back. It's not super old. It was made at like 2000.
Okay.
But it wasn't made correctly. And I mean, you can see them from the video when we're done with it.
Yeah.
So I had to pull it all apart and replace some paneling, like cut sections. So, routing things on bases with templates, and it gave me a sort of a foundation to sort of tackle this beast. It's pretty interesting, but I want to get that thing sorted out and buy a little, early BMW SUV, and then hit the road, man. I need to get out and see. I need to get out and see California.
Yeah.
My family has property in Minnesota. I want to get up there and hang out for a bit. I'd like to come out and just visit folks on, out in the world. And hang out.
Yeah.
Just talk.
Just
Share music, share stories, whatever. Kind of the way the world is right now makes me really long for community. And the base community has always been sort of a special place. The people that, we've stayed. Dude, how long have we been doing this? Right? But let's not think about.
Yeah, I got
All right. Too old to think that hard.
A very, very, very long time. And
you must have.
man,
if you just reflect on the way things were when we started, and the way the industry was, and people that were around, and the brands that were around, and what was happening, and the way things are now, with the way social media has impacted everything, and now you get everything through a little clip on my phone, right?
Yeah.
Even the late night shows are going away because the format doesn't fit on your phone, right?
Yeah.
So it's just
Crazy.
it's mind-boggling.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it.
And I find it all a bit much, and so I'm really leaning more into a relationship with the natural world and earth, and wood comes from that. So I've always been interested in wood. I've always been interested in gardening. My family has a farming background in northern Minnesota, dairy farming.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I really want to do my part to help make things better for everybody in the planet and earth and music.
In the future.
Yeah, be creative. How can we create more? Because the antidote to destruction is creating.
Yeah.
It's the more I can create, the more you can create. If I inspire you to create, then
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it keeps you grounded.
I
grounding.
I think it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
I think it's fundamental look, we have a song called "You Get to Be Here," right? And the world right now through your phone is trying to tell you don't.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like showing you all the things that it's designed to pull those triggers to get you freaked out. So you keep going like this. So you buy stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you buy my pickups and my instruments. But the problem is that pulls you out of yourself, how you get back in yourself. And so the antidote to the destruction that comes at you through your phone is to make things, to create. And that's you being put in the world through something that you can show people and share. And music is such a great version of that, right? And so poetry, art, all creative. What if you're making something? If you're making something that wasn't there before, you're fighting the destruction in the world. If it's just you by yourself, creating something for yourself, that's to me, that energy is what we need in the world.
I love it. Go create, people.
Anyway.
Create something. So, well, Carey, I love it. Dude, we could go on for hours. As always,
Like I said, I'll talk your ear off.
I am greatly, incredibly thankful for your friendship through all these years. Like seriously, dude, it means a lot. Yeah, I can just ping you. I've pinged you about shit that's gone on in my life.
Of course.
And you're a close friend and I love it. And couldn't be prouder, couldn't be happier that you're just following this rad creative path. And it's very inspiring.
It's a crazy 4-year-old. And it really is. It's this kid that lives in me who I've had to figure out how to take care of a lot of things that he's had to deal with. But when I get it right, he's like, he's the fizz, he's the source. And
that's
so
awesome.
And so yeah, it's playing. It's we need that.
Well, I love it, man. I
need that.
Yeah. We all do. Yeah. Websites.
Unconditionallycurious.com is sort of the place where it all kind of branches out.
Check that out for sure.
And then there's a YouTube channel, same name. And then, my company, Nordstrand.
Yeah, Nordstrandaudio.com. Go there, check it out. Polybase, any kind of pickups, premium.
Polybase. We still have some factory Acinonix bases around. They're red. But there aren't many left, and there aren't going to be any more coming from the factory because of the way things are and the way shifting. I mean, the story's out there. Yeah, I want to go find it. But,
yeah, I'll put a link.
You're going to have to find them used.
They're great. Yeah.
Eventually, if the demand builds, we'll put them in the factory paradigm and have made them next to this.
And then obviously all that socials, check out. Like that's where you kind of put APVs out.
Yeah, as long as I still have an account. Last night, Instagram said, "Oh, you don't have an account right now." I'm like, okay, what did I do? I'll tell you what you did, so who knows?
Dude.
So yeah, hopefully the Nordstrand audio accounts are still going. They said they'd give me 24 hours and let me know. But
well, if anything, go
there's. It's YouTube. I'll be on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can find it there. And then I'm still on Facebook.
Cool.
Ball and chain.
Yeah, I know. Well, but the mailing list. Go to Nordstrand.
Sign up for the mailing list. That is the best way to really stay on top. We had a VP4 come in. That Jerry Watts had for a minute, and I wrote a little blurb. It was one of my personal instruments, and I put a little blurb up, and it was gone right away. So then the newsletter is a great way to really know what's going on around here. Sonia's really on top of things, and I'm gonna stop talking.
I love it, man. Well, I love you, man. Seriously, bro. You're
thanks.
Yeah, seriously, thank you for doing this. This was Hang Time. The second episode.
It felt like a hang.
Yeah. It felt like a hang. So thank you, Carey. We love it. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.